Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year again. That's right, Call of Duty beta season. And this time around, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 7, coming from Call of Duty Black Ops 6, two Treyarch games back to back, which is an interesting choice. I don't exactly know what happened to the whole 3-year dev cycle thing where each developer was supposed to rotate making COD games. I guess that was kind of thrown out the window this year when we get two Black Ops games back to back. So how does Black Ops 7 feel? Well, in my opinion, it's not great. If I had to pick a couple of games it reminds me a lot of Black Ops 6 combined with Black Ops 4, which is sad to see because this game is supposed to be a sequel to Black Ops 2, but unfortunately, it just feels nothing like Black Ops 2 at all. It doesn't give Black Ops 2 vibes off at all, despite having tons of nostalgia bait from Black Ops 2, like the Peacekeeper and M8A1 weapons returning. There's still the millimeter scanner sight from Black Ops 2, but in reality, it plays just like Black Ops 6, but even more cracked out and Adderall infused because of the movement. I could have sworn they said the movement was going to be toned down this year, and that Black Ops 6 was too fast with all of the Omni movement. I haven't gotten those vibes at all from the beta so far. The game is basically an ADHD movement shooter. You got people sliding around at the speed of light, jump shotting, jumping off walls with the new feature they added in with the wall jumping. It is extremely sweaty and honestly just obnoxious how fast people can slide from having nearly zero momentum.
Skewer incoming.
What the fuck is this game? Look at this AIDS! Yeah, dude, let me just play some Michael Jackson with your moonwalking ass. Just fucking sliding backwards. The gunplay is okay. It's basically just Black Ops 6 gunplay. The guns aren't on the level of MW19 where they sound nice and punchy. This is a Treyarch game, and they've always had worse audio design than the Modern Warfare games, at least in terms of the way the guns sound. The gunfights themselves, though, are so inconsistent. The time to die is outrageously quick. I've had times where I would light someone up like I should clearly win the gunfight, but I just get melted in just a few bullets in a split second. And my god, have I been shot around a corner more times in this beta than I can remember in the past 5 years of playing COD. What?
Hostile release the skewer.
And somehow I even got combat axed around a corner. What?
Been scanning with scout pulse.
Hostile counter UAV above.
I was way around the corner, man. In both of those clips, I was so far around the corner on my screen, but when I watched the kill cam and on the other player's screen, I just wasn't on their screen. It's just a really bad desync problem, and it's probably the reason why it feels like you get shredded just in an instant. Now, I'm sure the netcode will be improved by the time the full game launches, but I still have to point it out here because it is a very noticeable problem that happened to me multiple times. Getting back to audio though, since we were just talking about that, something just feels off with the audio. Like the sound mixing is just a little unbalanced. Footstep sounds, first of all, are just non-existent in this game. I don't know if anyone else has had that issue, but the amount of times someone just runs full speed right next to me or right behind me or sliding around and I don't hear a single thing is too many to count at this point. There's also just a lot of audio sensory overload in this game. There's noise for the objectives being taken, there's grenades beeping and going off, drone targeting sounds, killstreak targeting sounds, and for some reason they put this annoying ass guitar riff every time either your nemesis kills you or you kill your nemesis, and it's just insanely loud that kind of overtakes everything else going on.
Hostiles have the hard
One
point.
more. Clean and
Hard
simple.
point locked down.
Hostile marksman. Animated remote.
Hostile UAV established.
Stop with the guitar riff, dude! God damn! I don't care that he's my nemesis. The weapon balance in general is on the better side in Black Ops 7 right now. I use the shotgun a lot, and it's surprisingly strong once you get a lot of the attachments for it. Sniping also felt fine. LMGs felt okay, albeit a little slow and sluggish for the game's movement. The Dravik SMG, however, is just overpowered as hell, and in typical beta fashion, once the losers get a hold of that information, this is nearly the only weapon that you see being used in the beta right now. But we'll talk about SBMM in a moment near the end of the video. That is coming, don't you worry. But it's just super annoying to try to use different guns and just try them out, and you just go up against the same wannabe CDL sweats using the same exact red dot Dravik loadout, booty slotting around. The UI, particularly for creating classes, is just annoying. They have it to where you choose your loadout in a horizontal line at the top where those little boxes are, and then of course you click on the different parts to customize whatever you want in your loadout. On PC using a mouse though, it doesn't even function correctly because when you make a change, you can't just click on another part or another box on the loadouts. You have to hit one of your keys to then re-enable the mouse to then make it able to click on another part of the class to change it. It is super annoying, it's unintuitive, and why in the fuck are we still trying to use horizontal menus? Can we just go back to the vertical list of the classes, and then when you hover over a certain class, it shows everything on the class on the right side of the screen? The old CODs did it best. It was simple, you can see all of your loadouts and scroll through them without having to hit any of your keyboard buttons. It's just straight up worse for no reason at all in this game, and just the newer CODs in general. I think even Black Ops 6 did the vertical list for the classes though, so I don't know why we're changing it again. Another note about the UI though, I cannot stand health bars. I don't like health bars in COD. I hated them in Black Ops 4. I actually hated Black Ops 4 in general. I hated them in Cold War, and I don't like them here. I like COD games without health bars. It just makes it look better and less cartoony. The perks are basically the same perks as they were in Black Ops 6 with very minor differences. There are now hybrid perk setups, so if you run 2 greens and 1 red, you'll get a hybrid bonus instead of just getting nothing like in Black Ops 6. One major problem with the perk system though is that you essentially need to run dexterity all the time if you want to actually utilize the Omni movement to its fullest potential. I don't understand that. They designed this entire game with Omni movement in mind and the slide mechanic, and then lock a core part of it behind a perk that will ultimately become a crutch perk because of that. I just think that's a stupid design decision. One thing that I actually do like though is the new Overclock feature. Basically, these are just attachments or perks for your equipment. So for the cluster grenade, for example, you can apply an upgrade to make it so that you can cook the fuse on it when you normally cannot. Or field upgrades, you can decrease the recharge time or apply some other effect to it. And the same goes for all of the kill streaks in the game. You can also overclock those with different little bonuses. And I think that's just a good change overall. I don't see any downsides to it. I think it's just more customization for us, and that's always good. And speaking of kill streaks, one of my favorite things that's newly added in this game is the wall hack sniper. This is a kill streak that highlights enemies through the wall and allows you to snipe them through the entire map, no matter where they are. Now, if you played MW3 a couple years ago, the Moors and its charge barrel had a bug that lets you do this, of course, without the wall hack part, but it lets you just snipe enemies through the entire map. And it was so much fun doing that, of course, until they nerfed it. But obviously they had to nerf it because it was just busted. But this is a perfect example of a new score streak that is just fun. I know there's plenty of people complaining about it being overpowered and unbalanced. No, it's a kill streak, and a pretty high one at that. It's like 950 score or something that you need for. It's like a 9 kill streak. But it's something new, and yeah, it's just fun to use. Let it stay how it is. Don't nerf it. And I'm pretty sure you can put a perk on to counter it anyways. If anything, we need more new and unique streaks in Call of Duty. COD hasn't been innovative with its kill streaks in a very long time. Most of the games just keep reusing the same ones and just renaming them every year. So it's good that in Black Ops 7, they're at least trying to add new ones here. Onto the maps now, and you may have noticed that transition looked like a door opening. Well, I couldn't resist because it's just a perfect fit for the maps in Black Ops 7. They are alright, I guess. Better than Black Ops 6 maps, sure. But is that really saying something when Black Ops 6 maps were some of the worst in the franchise? The maps are serviceable here in Black Ops 7, but not anything super great or memorable in my opinion. And they all have one really annoying problem, at least the ones in the beta so far: the insane amount of doors on them. I could have sworn they said they were getting rid of doors this year for the maps. Maybe it was just a leak and not actual information from the company themselves, but I swear I saw something that the maps weren't going to have doors in them. Either way, Call of Duty developers seem to have an unhealthy obsession with doors. I don't know what it is. And I think the doors in Black Ops 7 are actually worse than in every other COD game they've been in so far, because they only open when you either shoot them or you get close to them, And unlike in previous games, they don't stay open. So let's say you try to throw a grenade into a doorway where a door was previously open, you start cooking it up, and then 2 seconds later, the door closes, and you end up bouncing that shit right back at you. That's happened to me a couple times with the EMP grenades, and when you're EMP'd, you get EMP'd for like 5 seconds, so it's pretty annoying. And it's also annoying because people can just camp right behind a door, and you can't see what's behind the door, so the moment that door opens, they just open fire on your ass before you can even react at what has been opened beyond that door. I know they did come out and say that they're going to make some changes to the doors on the maps, but it just brings me to question how the developers even thought in the first place that these doors, and especially the amount of them on the maps themselves, would be a good idea. I mean, you could run around a good 20 seconds and just open 5 different doors in that time if you really tried to. There's that many. Now I want to talk about the technical side of the game, the PC performance and how the game runs. I recently upgraded my PC to the 9800X3D processor with 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM at 6000 MHz. And I paired that with my 3080 Ti that I had from my old PC. And when I first launched this game and got into it, not even at max settings, I lowered the things that I normally lower, like the shadows, the reflections. I also turned on DLSS quality like I always do in COD games, but kept things like textures on high at 1440p, and I was met with like 70 to 90 FPS. That's on one of the best consumer gaming CPUs you can buy with a 3080 Ti. And yeah, the 3080 Ti is like a couple generations old at this point, but that's still a pretty top tier card for at least 1440p gaming. And I'm getting 90 FPS with DLSS on? That just doesn't seem right to me. So I went and lowered everything to the lowest possible setting, and was still getting like 150 FPS on average with drops on some part of the maps to below 100. That's not good performance. Considering with MW3 a couple years ago, I ran the game with high textures and high texture filtering and almost maxed out settings aside from things like shadows and reflections. And that was on my old i9 9800K CPU, which is like a 7-year-old CPU with the same 3080 Ti, and I was getting the same performance, if not better performance, than I am on Black Ops 7 on the lowest possible settings with a 9800X3D and a 3080 Ti. That to me is not a good sign at all. It's not like Black Ops 7 looks any better than the CODs of the past 5 years. In fact, I would say that since Modern Warfare 19, the COD games have been getting worse and worse looking. MW19 still looks the best out of all of them and also performs the best. So why is PC performance just getting worse and worse over the years? The strange thing is that when I played the beta on the second day, it actually seemed to run a bit better than it did on the first day. So maybe they optimized it or something with the update they did. Albeit I was still using the lowest possible settings, which I feel I shouldn't have to be with a 3080 Ti at 1440p with DLSS on and a 9800X3D. But it is what it is, I guess. It's just something that I had to bring up because I was pretty shocked when I first played the game and noticed my FPS was that bad. Maybe they will further optimize it by the time the game launches too. I don't know. Hopefully they do. Now here at the end of the video, I want to just have a heart-to-heart discussion about Black Ops 7 because while there are certain aspects that I do like about Black Ops 7, unfortunately, I think the game is just gonna be slop overall. I just find it really hard to have genuine fun in Call of Duty these days with how the matchmaking system works. The last COD that I had real fun in was Modern Warfare 2023 because of all the cool and unique aftermarket parts and just different fun, wacky weapons they put in the game. I thought that was just really fun despite the game being super sweaty all year round. So my first game on this beta, as a level 1, I went up against like 5 level 20s, all using the Dravik SMG, pretending like it was $1 million tournament. And really almost all of that night was like that for my first day of the beta. The second day, it was a little better, but I just think this game, especially as a mouse and keyboard player on PC, is just not good. I actually think if they took out the slide completely, it would play a lot better on these maps. Keep the wall jump, remove the slide, and it would actually be a much better experience. When I compare the experience that I had on this beta with the experience I had on the Battlefield 6 open beta, it's almost a night and day difference. Battlefield 6, I would end the night excited and wanting to play more of the game. When I end the night after playing COD, and especially the Black Ops 7 beta, I'm just exhausted. It's mentally draining because you have to sweat pretty much all the time trying your hardest to compete, otherwise you just get shit on. And especially trying to compete with the insane levels of aim assist on this game, it's near impossible to track and win gunfights against a literal robot aiming when the movement is as fast as it is with the sliding. Playing COD is just draining because of the matchmaking system. When I played Battlefield 6, I would go against people that were good on the enemy team, but even when we were losing and going up against really good players, the game was still fun. I wanted to keep playing it. Black Ops 7, on the other hand, makes me want to not play it after playing it for a couple hours because it just gets tiring. And so what I hope happens this year is that Battlefield 6 just completely kicks COD's ass and takes a giant portion of their market share in the FPS genre. Because that is the only thing that will make Call of Duty change their ways with the way their matchmaking system works and just the gameplay as a whole. I'll tell you right now, I'm playing Battlefield 6 this year over Call of Duty. I still wanted to try the beta for Black Ops 7, but in the end, it only made my decision clear. I honestly don't even know if I'll play COD on release at all this year. If I do, it'll probably just be the campaign on Game Pass, and then it's right back into Battlefield 6 for the multiplayer, because at the end of the day, this is just more Black Ops 6. Like, it just feels like Black Ops 6 DLC, really. With Black Ops 6, I ended up quitting the game entirely in December for the same reasons. The multiplayer was just not fun with how sweaty it was. And part of it was also that I found a better, more fun multiplayer game to play with Marvel Rivals at the time. But this year, now I have Battlefield 6 to get my military FPS multiplayer fix. And Marvel Rivals is still there as well for another fun multiplayer PvP game. So I just don't need this SBMM-ridden, mentally draining game. And this will probably be the first COD, I think, since Black Ops 4 that I just don't buy on day one. And it's unfortunate saying that because Black Ops 2 is my favorite COD game. I love Black Ops 2, and considering this is a sequel to Black Ops 2, you'd think that I would be excited for it. But this game is nothing like Black Ops 2, man. It's not. It doesn't have any of those same vibes and aura that Black Ops 2 had. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the Black Ops 7 beta down in the comments, and are you also going to be jumping over to Battlefield 6 this year instead of Black Ops 7, or perhaps you're just jumping out of the FPS genre entirely? If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel for more content. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.
Gather the wounded. Extract crews will be there soon.
Cock effort. We got our asses kicked there.
Lord have mercy, that was an onslaught, bro.
Yeah, you're right. I kept dicking him down with the shotgun. Watch this. Look at they keep coming in and getting blasted. Watch this shit. 1, 2, double kill. And then another one comes around. Watch this. Call out my Raps deploy ship, and then boom, another one. They just kept coming.
You're dog shit, kid. You are fucking dog shit.
That's the highlight of his life right there.
That was the best kill I've ever seen in this game.
This is the play of the game. The 4 noob tube kills.
Absolutely shit on that final kill cam.
Shut the fuck up, pussy, you and your fucking noob tube little bitch.
Just put on a flak jacket. Oh wait, you're a Dravik nerd, so you can't use anything else.